Okay, people, let's look at CAT 2020 slot 1 QA paper. The interesting thing about this is you don't need to solve the entire, you don't need to get everything right to get a decent percentile. Upwards of 43. To the best of my knowledge, 43 plus got you in the range of 99 percentile. Am I correct, people? 43 plus score got you 99 plus percentile. So my first target will be to identify my first target section wise, just for QA section. Just for QA section. So my first target will be, let's try and identify which 15 should have been attempted for you to get to the 99 plus mark, which 15 should have been attempted, and then rest which ones, then there will be certain which should have been left alone. छोड़ दो इनको, इनसे दोस्ती यारी करनी नहीं है. Which one should have been left alone, which one should have been attempted. And of course, my rating, your opinion on questions will be different, or could be different. But then about absolutely easy ones and absolutely difficult ones, I hope there is some overlap. Let's go. The first one. How many 3-digit numbers are there for which the product of the digits is more than 2 but less than 7? Okay, so we're looking at 3-digit numbers for which the product of digits is more than 2, less than 7. The product of digits can be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Now, in order to get the product of 3 digits is 3, the only way it works is 1, 1, 3. And in how many ways can they be rearranged? 3 factorial by 2 factorial, or a total of 3 ways. For a product of 4, we can have 1, 1, 4 or 1, 2, 2. In both these cases, can I directly jump to 3 ways and 3 ways? Product 4. For product 5, again it would be 1, 1, 5. Gives me a product of 5. Again, 3 ways. Finally, for product 6, it could be 1, 1, 6 or 1, 2, 3. This will have 3 ways, but this will have 3 factorial or 6 ways. Altogether, we have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 6 or 21 ways. Simple enough. Maybe move. The problem is, don't try distribution here. You have to list down all the cases and then work. Okay. This one now. Viru invested rupees 10,000 at 5% simple annual interest, and exactly after 2 years, Joy invested 8,000 at 10% simple annual interest. After how many years after Viru's investment will their balances, principal plus accumulated interest, be equal? So in both the cases, we need amount to be equal. Amount in the first case will be 10,000 plus 10,000 into 5 into n by 100. In the second case, amount will be 8,000 plus 8,000 into 10 into n minus 2 by 100. Here taking n minus 2, or here taking x and here taking x plus 2. Please pay attention. We are looking for how many years after Viru's investment. Had it been after Joy's investment, this variable would have been y, this variable would have been y plus 2. Whatever variable I need, whatever answer I need, I will take that as variable to reduce my work. Both these expressions, oopsie, this right side expression is incorrect right now. These two expressions have to be equal. First thing we can do is this and this cancels out to give me 2,000 on this side. I get 2,000 plus 500n is equal to 800, 1600, sorry, mine 800n minus 1600 or 300n is equal to 3600. Zero is gone. N is equal to 12. And you can mark your answer. Yes. This is simple enough to fathom. Now, in case you understand, SI is nothing but an AP. In the first case, can you see your initial amount is 10,000. After 1 year, the amount will be 10,500. Then it will be 11,000. Then it will be 11,500 and so on. At this time, the amount is, see, first year there was no amount here. 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 At the beginning of the third year, we have 8,000 here. We have 11,000 here. The interest gained in every step here is 500. The interest gained here in every step is 800. By what margin is this amount coming close to this amount in every step? 300. We have to cover a gap of 3,000. So how many years will it take? From this point, it should take 10 years. Or from the beginning, it should take 12 years. You could think in both those terms. I'm guessing this is what most people would have done because this is the basic understanding. I personally choose to do this because it is easier for me and then I don't have to write stuff down. I know at the end of 2 years, this was at 11,000, this is at 8,000, and they're coming closer together at the rate of 300 per year. So 3,000 by 300, 10 more years will be taken. So after Joy is invested, it would be 10 more years. So after the initial investment, it will be 12 more years. This enables me to do it mentally. It is not necessary you have to do it this way. You can do it the first way, which is the most standard way, perfectly acceptable. Okay. The next one. An alloy is prepared by mixing 3 metals A, B, C in the proportion 3:4:7 by volume. Weights of the same volume of metals of A, B, C are in the ratio 5:2:6. In 130 kg of the alloy, the weight in kg of metal C is 3x, 4x, and 7x. And let's say weights of the same volume of metal A, B, C are in the ratio. I'm saying let it be same volume, let it be volume X. उसका weight है 5, इसका weight है 2 और इसका weight है 6. Or if you want to go Y volume, then or whatever volume, the ratio would turn out to be either 5y or 2y or 6y. So this turns to 15xy, this turns to 8xy, this turns to 42xy, or altogether the total weight should be 63xy. And we have been told 63xy is equal to 130. Sorry, 65xy, not 63. 23, yes, 65xy. So xy will be equal to 2. Finally, what they asked me is weight in kg of metal C, or 42xy. 42xy. So the answer will be option 4, 84. I hope you have seen such questions earlier, and thereby be quick to jump to 15, 8, 42. This is 65 units, which is equal to 130. So 42 should be equal to 84. This is all the solving writing that should be done when you're taking the exam. But for explanation purposes, if you want to write it down in ratio terms, you can of course go ahead and do that. Is this understandable? May we move? So far, all maybe not the first one, but I'm guessing second and third one would be questions that everyone knows and everyone knows how to handle. These are not questions in which you trip up. In fact, let's see, this is fun. Okay, this is where I expect people to trip up. On a rectangular metal sheet of area 135 square inches, a circle is painted such that the circle touches two opposite sides. If the area of the sheet left unpainted is 2/3 the painted area, then the perimeter of the rectangle in inches is. We have a rectangle, we have a circle. Now the unpainted area, let's say the unpainted area was 2x, then this circle will have the area 3x. Yes, because the area of the sheet left unpainted is 2/3 of the painted area. So altogether, area of the rectangle has entirely been referred to. So if 5x is 135, can I say x is 27? Or the area of the circle is 81. Area of the circle is 81, which gives me the radius of the circle is pi r square is 81, or r square is 81 by pi, or r is 9 by root pi. This much we can figure out. Now this dimension of the rectangle has to be 2r. Here and here, 2r. Now if this is 2r and I have a measure for r, I can also find out this length. Let's call it a. 2r a is equal to 135, or 18 a by root pi is equal to 135. Cancel, cancel, gives me 15, or a is equal to 15 by 2 root pi. We have both these sides now. Finally, they had asked me what is the perimeter. I need sum of this and then I need to double it, or I can double it right now. I need 4r plus 2a. 4r is simple, it is 36 by root pi. 2a is simple, it is 15 root pi. Up until this point, I'm guessing it will not be that much of a challenge. There is processing, there is simplification, but then there is no problem per se. We can take out 3, I can take out common from the numerators, I can see. And whenever I take out 3, there has to be a root pi being taken out. So if I take out root pi, this term here will give me 5 inside. That is cool. Now, if I'm taking out root pi from numerator, here I'll be left with 12 by pi. Either you see it or you don't, I don't mind. But can you see that as soon as you reached this 3 root pi plus 5, as soon as you reach 3 root pi plus 5, after this you don't really have any confusion between the options. Maybe you're unable to simplify to 12 by pi, but you can definitely mark 3 as your answer. Yes. That 12 by pi simplification, maybe you see, maybe you don't see. That is fine, not a problem. Now, this is the sort of question I expect, even if you skipped it. Even if you skipped it, it will not be a problem. As in, this is one of the later questions that should have been attempted. Not that if you know how to solve it, then of course go ahead and solve it. But this is the kind of question that should have been left for later and not picked up right at the beginning. Because if you pick it up in the beginning and you solve it, great. You still run down the clock. If you don't solve it, then there is a cascading effect. Leave it alone, no point. Okay, this one. Simple definitional question. Cancel, 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 cancel. Log y is equal to 2 log 6. log y is equal to log 36, then y equals 36. Very straightforward, very doable. The only principle it is using is log a to the base b is equal to log a by log b. If you don't run away from log, if you are not scared of log, this is definitely within our range. Let's go. Okay. This is a fun question. This is what I like to call a distinguisher question. Two persons are walking beside a railway track at respective speeds of 2 and 4 km/h in the same direction. A train came from behind them and crossed them in 90 and 100 seconds respectively. The time in seconds taken by the train to cross the electric post is nearest to. Now there is a mathematical way. I'll do the equation way later. Right now, can you tell me ratio speeds here will be 10:9? Speed 1 to speed 2 is 10:9. So speed of train minus 2 by speed of train minus 4 is equal to 10:9. Can you directly jump to t equal to 22? दो नंबर है जिनका डिफरेंस 2 है. There are two numbers which differ by 2 and the ratio is 10:9. Of course, the two numbers are 20 and 18. So t is 22. Original speed of the train is 22. Yes. Here they are traveling with the speed of 20 kmph. Here they are traveling with the speed of 18 kmph. 20 kmph. For 90 seconds, it has traveled with the speed of 20 kmph. How much is it? 20 into 5 by 80. This will be the total distance. This will be the total distance. But don't try solving it right now. If this is the total distance, the final thing you need is the time. The time taken in seconds by the train to cross the electric post. Because the electric post is static, it will be this 90 into 5 by 18 again. This goes to hell. 11 and 10. We get 900 by 11, or we get 81 whole 9 by 11. Nearest to, so option 2, 82. This is the whatever way. Let us go and do it slowly now. Two persons are walking beside a railway track at respective speeds of 2 and 4. This is a railway track. One person is going this way at the rate of 2 km/h. The other person is going this way 4 km/h. A train came from behind and crossed them in 90 and 100 seconds respectively. किसको क्रॉस करने में कम टाइम लग, अच्छा रेस्पेक्टिवली है, यही रखा है, ठीक है. So if the train is coming, let's say the speed of the train is ts. So the relative speed, this is person 1, this is person 2. So distance is length of train and in the first case speed in the first case is speed of train minus 2. So d by ts minus 2 is equal to 90. In the second case, length of the train remains same. Speed of the train becomes ts minus 4. So d by ts minus 4 is equal to 100. This is one equation. This is the other equation. All you have to do is divide one by the other. Divide one by the other. If we divide one by the other, we get Ts minus 4 by Ts minus 2 is equal to 90 by 100. Cancel this out. We get 10 Ts minus 40 is equal to 9 Ts minus 18, or Ts is equal to 22. Pay attention because these are kilometers per hour. So the speed of the train that we have also identified is kilometer per hour. Finally, what the question asks me is the time taken by the train to cross an electric post is nearest. Now, when it is crossing an electric post, what all has changed? The distance remains the same. Distance is still d only, length of the train. Just that speed now is simply speed of train. Speed of train. So we need d by ts. The problem is ts we know, d by 22 kilometer per hour. This ts we know, this d we don't know, but we can figure out d from either of these expressions. Let us do that. Here d becomes d by 20 kmph equal to 90. Just pay attention. The unit here is kilometer per hour. The unit here is seconds. We can't just go 1800. We can't just go 1800. We have to change either of them to the other unit, either in kilometer per hour. Let's turn this into an hour, or let's turn this into meter per second. I am guessing most of us will choose to do it in meter per second because that is simpler. 5 by 18. So we get d is equal to 90 into 20 into 5 by 18. So put the expression that we were looking for originally here turns to 90 into 20 into 5 by 18. Whole thing divided by 22. Again, we have to be mindful. We have converted everything to seconds of meter per second in the numerator. Distance is in meters, but the speed given at the bottom is in kilometer per hour. So let's change this also to meter per second. This will turn to 5 by 18. So this can go, this can go, this will go 11, this will go 10. We finally reach the same set of numbers, 900 by 11, which will give us 81.9 by 11. The closest to that is 82. There are traps here. There are things that you have to take care of. But in case you understand the ratios and speeds, these are under 1 minute doable question. If you understand ratio of speeds, then those triggers are in place. Otherwise, it may well take you upwards of 2 minutes to handle. Is it clear? Ritik, is this clear now? Entire thing? Maybe move people. जानना हो गया क्या? इतना डिटेल में नहीं जानना. ठीक है. Let's go. The number of real valued solutions of the equation. This is a brilliant question. I love it. This is not about a mathematical concept, but basic logic, basic input of logic. The number of real valued solutions to the equation, blah, blah, and blah. Look at this. This is as good as 2 raised to the power x plus 1 by 2 raised to the power x. The LHS. Can I say this LHS? This is a plus 1 by a. A number plus is reciprocal. A number plus its reciprocal. So this has to be the smallest possible value here is 2. It has to be greater than or equal to 2. Yes. Now the RHS. 2 minus x minus 2 whole square. Can I say this expression has to be less than or equal to 2? You are subtracting from 2. a non-negative quantity. X minus 2 is a non-negative quantity. So you're subtracting from 2 a non-negative quantity. The max you can reach here is 2. So even if you tried, the only place where these expressions become equal, would be where? When the expressions themselves are equal to 2. When the expressions themselves are equal to 2. For the LHS to become equal to 2, x 2 raised to the power x would have to be equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power x, or x would have to be 0. Whole expression x minus 2 whole square has to be greater than equal to 0. This whole expression has to be less than equal to 2. x minus 2 को क्यों less than 2 होना? x minus 2 स्क्वायर को तुम दुनिया की किसी भी वैल्यू तक बढ़ा सकते हैं पॉजिटिव साइड पे. बस RHS देखना. 2 minus x minus 2 whole square. अच्छा, इसका मिनिमम वैल्यू कितना आएगा ऋतिक? इसका मिनिमम वैल्यू कितना आएगा? x minus 2 whole square. बाकी चीजें छोड़ो, इसका मिनिमम वैल्यू कितना आएगा? 0. तो हम एक 2 minus 0 करके 2 ला सकते हैं. अच्छा, अब जो भी आएगा यहाँ पे 0 से बड़ा होगा. 2 minus 1 point something, 2 minus 0 point something. Will the values that you get here be lesser than 2? The values that you get here, will they be lesser than 2? क्योंकि 2 minus something positive गायब कर रहा हूं, तब ये जो भी आएगा, this will be lesser than 2. If this is going to be lesser than 2, can I say this entire expression has to be less than equal to 2? ये logic. Is this understandable? Okay. So at x equal to 0, this expression will give me 2. यहाँ पे 2 लाने के लिए क्या चाहिए होगा? In order to get 2 here, x would have to be equal to 2 itself. If this bracket gives me 0, this whole square gives me 0, तभी जाके 2 आएगा. So you can't even get the LHS and RHS to coincide on the value where they can potentially get the same value. So how many real valued solutions are possible? None at all. Option 3, 0. No values are possible. There is no real valued solution of x possible. Okay, moving on. Let's move. Okay. If y is a negative number such that 2y square log 355 raised to the power blah blah blah, then y equals. लॉग वाले कैट के सवाल के लिए सीधी बात है, बेसिक फंडा. आई कैन गो y square log 5 by log 3 log 2 is equal to log 3 by log 2 log 5. Simply bring everything down, open up every term. This log 5 and this log 5 can get cancelled. Y square is equal to log 3 by log 2 whole square. Now there was a clue in the question. Y is a negative number. Because y is a negative number, can I go y is equal to minus log 3 by log 2? It has two possible square roots, positive or negative. So it has to go negative because y is a negative number. Or this is as good as log 3 raised to the power minus 1 by log 2, or log base 2 3 raised to the power minus 1, or log 2 1 by 3, which is present in option 1. हाँ, दोनों साइड लॉग लिए बस, और कुछ नहीं दिया. We simply took a log here, we simply took a log here, or here opened up things. Simple enough. Let's go. Ah, wonderful. How many see this is a simple question. This is a question in which I expect some people would have made mistakes. Even in the actual exam, I expect people would have made mistakes. How many distinct positive integer valued solutions exist to the equation this raised to power this is equal to 1? Cases that you have to think of is, say the base was equal to 1 or the power was equal to 0 or the base is equal to -1 and the power is even. Any of these three cases has to be taken care of. So I'm going, let's call this A, let's call this B, let's call this C. For A, this base here is 1. X square minus 7x plus 11 is equal to 1, or x square minus 7x plus 10, or x is equal to 2 or 5. We get two solutions for x from here. Case B, power is equal to 0. X square minus 13x plus 42 is equal to 0. X equal to 6 or 7. Okay, we get two more possible values of x from here. Now let's check it this way. If this was equal to -1, x square minus 7x plus 11 is equal to -1. X square minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. X is equal to 3 or 4. We don't simply go x equal to 3 or 4 right now. We have to see if x is equal to 3 or 4, what does this expression give me as the value? Does it give me an even number or an odd number? Let me just see this. If I break this up, if I know this 6 and 7, can I say it will be x minus 6 into x minus 7? This will be the factorized form. Given that these are two consecutive numbers, x minus 6 and x minus 7 are two consecutive numbers, the product will always be even. The product will always be even. And now I can claim with confidence, for x equal to 3 or 4 also, the expression will turn to 1. Therefore, how many distinct integer valued solutions exist to the equation? There are 6 different options available. And I'm sure people will miss out this case. Did anyone in this class miss out on this case? Base -1 and power even. This is the expectation. The paper setter expects you to miss out this case. This is why this is a fun question. This is also a kind of a distinguisher. But then this is, see, distinguisher here is more in terms of efficiency. Here is in more terms of, are you being thorough with all the cases that you're covering? Okay. This one now. A person spent 50,000 to purchase a desktop computer and a laptop computer. He sold the desktop at 20% profit and the laptop at 10% loss. If he made an overall 2% profit, then the purchase prices in rupees of the desktop is. There are two ways you can do it. Let's call the desktop D and the laptop L. D plus L is equal to 50,000 and 20 by 100 D minus 10 by 100 L is equal to 2 by 100, 50,000, cancel, 5, cancel, 10, talk. So D by 5 minus L by 10 is equal to 1,000, or 2D minus L is equal to 10,000. Along with this, we simply add them up. We get 3D is equal to 60,000 and D is equal to 20,000. Yes, simple enough. Now, in case you want to do it without the pen, 2% profit would mean 1,000 rupees. I'm saying let his entire investment suffer a 10% loss. Let his entire investment suffer a 10% loss. He would be at minus 5,000. From here, he has to get to 1,000. From here, he has to get to 1,000. How will that be? I will just leave it there. From minus 5,000, he has to get to 1,000. How will that be? सिक्स थाउजेंड को रेशियो में डिवाइड नहीं. ध्यान देना क्या मूवमेंट हो रही है. 10% लॉस से 20% प्रॉफिट जा रहे हो, तो 30% ऊपर जा रहे हो, 30% ऊपर जा रहे हो. एंड 30% ऊपर जाना कितना हुआ? 6,000. 30% ऑफ डेस्कटॉप प्राइस इज 6,000. डेस्कटॉप का प्राइस कितना है? 20,000. Why I like doing this? Doesn't need me to use the pen. Otherwise, एलिगेशन से भी कर सकते. चलो देखें. 20 और माइनस 10 है, से हम लोग नेट पे 2 पे आ रहे हैं. बिल्कुल कर सकते. 8 है, 12 है, तो 3:2 के रेशियो में बढ़ जाएगा. नहीं, सॉरी, 18 है और 12 है, तो 2:3 के रेशियो में बढ़ जाएगा. हाँ, 20,000 और 30,000 बिल्कुल सही है. एलिगेशन से भी कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. I'm more क्या बताए, partial towards if there are multiple transactions happening हो, एक जगह loss एक जगह profit है, let the entire transaction go in one direction and then switch. Very much like set theory, for every additional person क्या flags क्या movement. I'm comfortable with that thought. So everyone can reach 20,000 here, price of the desktop. Cool, let's go. The area of the region satisfying the inequalities. Mod x minus y is less than equal to 1, y is greater than equal to 0, y is less than equal to 1. Okay, let's go. This is y equal, sorry, what have I done? This is y equal to 0 line. This is the y equal to 0 line. This is y equal to 1 line. Whenever there is inequality, it will always be on the side of equality. Can I say we are only talking of this range right now? Lower than 1 and greater than 0, this is identified. Then this expression, you can make it much easier for yourself. Right now you have this in terms of y, you have this in terms of y. Turn this around. Can I say y has to be greater than equal to mod x minus 1? This is the same expression, mod x minus 1. Now if it was only mod x, it would pass through the origin. The fact that it is mod x minus 1, can I say it will go something like this? It will go something like this. This point being 0, minus 1. Okay. Where will it cut the x-axis and where will it cut the line y equal to 1? देख, ये वाला जो ग्राफ, ये वाला ग्राफ बनाना आता है हमें. मॉड एक्स का ग्राफ बनाना आता है, ऐसा बनता है. मॉड एक्स का ग्राफ ऐसा बनेगा. तो अब मॉड एक्स -1 का ग्राफ अगर होना है तो ये पूरा ग्राफ बस एक नीचे शिफ्ट हो जाएगा, ऐसा बन जाएगा। अगर मॉड एक्स, दिस इज मॉड एक्स, if this is mod x, this will be mod x -1. The graph will come down one value, that is it. Nothing else will change. So now here, what will be the intersection points and everything we have to identify? Let's see. The intersection points are going to be y is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to mod x -1. So x will be -1 comma 0 and 1 comma 0. Here it would be 1 is equal to mod x -1 or mod x is equal to 2. So this will be -2 comma 1 and 2 comma 1. Now we need the area of this region. We need area for this region. What shape is this, people? This is a trapezium, simple trapezium. Okay. This length is 2. This length is 4. This height is 1. So we need half into 1 into 2 plus 4. Half into distance between the parallel sides into sum of parallel sides. So the area of the trapezium created is 3. That should be the answer. This is again a question that is a distinguisher between fear and non-fear. Most people would run away from this on account of रीजन बनाना पड़ेगा या ग्राफ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है क्या होगा, बट fairly simple, straightforward question. Nothing too fancy out of the ordinary. जितना हम लोगों ने ग्राफिंग सीखी है उसका 5% भी नहीं है. Is this understandable? Let's move. Okay. A straight road connects points A, B. Car 1 travels from A to B and car B travels from B to A, both leaving at the same time. After meeting each other, they take 45 minutes and 20 minutes respectively to complete the journey. Car 1, car 2, they meet somewhere here. Meeting point. R1 will now take 45 minutes and car 2 will now take 20 minutes respectively to complete their journeys. Do we know the insight in this case, people? The ratio of times taken? Ratio of times taken is car time for car 1 to time for car 2 is equal to under root speed of car 2 by speed of car 1. Sorry. This is not under rooted. This is under rooted. This is under rooted. Time for car 1 is 45 by 20 under rooted. Speed for car 2 by speed for car 1, which gives me 9 by 4 ka under root, which gives me 3 by 2. This is speed of car 2, speed of car 1. We were told if car 1 travels at the speed of 60. So speed of car 2 is equal to 3 by 2 speed of car 1. Speed of car 2 is 3 by 2 into 60 or equal to 90. Option 1. Yes, it started off with the intent कि हम कुछ खतरनाक मैथ्स करेंगे इसमें, बट फिर आलस आ गया, ये लो सीधा सीधा ही पता है. From the meeting point, the time taken by the bodies to reach the opposite ends is in the inverse ratio of square of the speed. पता नहीं कुछ स्टेटमेंट है, प्रिसाइज स्टेटमेंट अभी याद नहीं, बट मैथ्स आता है 45-20, सीधा ही पता है क्या नंबर यूज हो रहा है. Okay, this one here. Among 100 students, X1 have birthdays in January, X2 have birthdays in February, and so on. If X0 is equal to max of X1, X2, blah, 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 then the smallest possible value of X0 is. Now see, this is a beautifully worded pigeonhole question. Whoever wants to call it pigeonhole, or what we like to call as bad luck question, or worst possible scenario, best possible scenario, extreme case. If there are 100 students and people have birthdays in January, February, if you want the minimum possible value for X0, you want the minimum possible value of X0, you want these X1 to X12 to be very well distributed, हर जगह बराबर बराबर लोगों, close together, absolutely close together. The best case would be we have 8, 12 times. But even still, this only takes care of 96 people. 12 into 8 is 96. This only takes care of 96 people. There are 4 more people. So we would have to go back and add at least 1 more to 4 other groups. Which means there will be 4 groups with 9 people and 8 groups with 8 people, and all 100 can be serviced. All 100 people can be placed in groups. The smallest possible value of X0 is 9. The smallest possible value of X0 is 9. Yes. Again, why I like this question is, this is not a formula based question. This is, if you understand maths, if you understand stuff, चल जाएगा. 9 into 11 plus 1 वाला केस भी वर्क करेगा ना? नहीं करेगा लक्ष्य, बिकॉज वो लॉजिक से नहीं चल रहा ना. वो तो हम रैंडमली 9 को मान चुके आंसर, उसके बाद हम करना चालू करते हैं. ये बताओ अगर यहाँ पे ये रहता, लेट्स से इफ दिस वाज 70 पीपल, तो आपका आंसर क्या रहता लक्ष्य? Have there been 70 people? सिक्स से डिवाइड करते हैं. अच्छा, हम ये बोल रहे देखो यहाँ पे काम क्या चल रहा है, लॉजिक समझो. हम यहाँ पे काम क्या कर रहे हैं पता है? पहले बच्चे को पहले मंथ में रखा, दूसरे बच्चे को दूसरे मंथ में रखा, तीसरे बच्चे को तीसरे मंथ में रखा, फिर चौथे मंथ में, फिर पांचवें मंथ में, so on and so forth. For the first 12 students, we have kept it in the first 12 months. There are more kids left, then we do it second time around. More 12 kids have been used up. Then again we use up 12 kids more. Why we are doing this is to ensure अगर हम किसी ग्रुप का काउंट बढ़ा रहे हैं, अगर हम किसी ग्रुप का काउंट बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो हम तभी बढ़ा रहे हैं जब ऑल माय अदर ऑप्शंस आर एग्जॉस्टेड. अगर हम शुरुआत से ही इसमें M1 में 9 लोग डाल देते शुरुआत में, 9 पीपल हमने डाल दिए शुरुआत में, और उसके बाद जाके हम M2 में डाल रहे हैं और लोग, दिस इज नॉट एफिशिएंट, नो, दिस इज नॉट लॉजिकल. हम अगर M1 में 1 डाल दिया तो अब बाकी सब में भी 1-1 डालेंगे, उसके बाद एनी एडिशनल पर्सन इन M1 और whichever other month will go. So this is how the thought process is working. So even if 9 into 11 plus 1, yes, the answer will still be 9 here, but this is not the extreme case that is being talked of. 7 नहीं होगा वैभव, 6 ही होगा. For this specific, if you want a formula, ये करना the next multiple of 12 divided by 12, ये आंसर होगा. यहाँ पे 100 के बाद नेक्स्ट मल्टीपल ऑफ 12 आता है 108 डिवाइडेड बाय 12 तो 9, वरना 70 के बाद आता है 72 बाय 12 तो 6. बेसिकली अगर ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी सोच सको ना, इफ यू कैन थिंक ऑफ वैभव, इफ यू कैन थिंक ऑफ दिस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, if you can think of this distribution, basically we are going through this distribution, we are trying to complete groups of 12, we are trying to complete groups of 12. अगर groups of 12 complete कर रहा है, हम कहां तक कंप्लीट नहीं कर पा रहे. नेक्स्ट मल्टीपल ऑफ 12 पे जाके कंप्लीट होना चाहिए था, बट पहुंच ही नहीं रहा वहां तक. वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए क्या चाहिए होगा, अनलेस ऑफ कोर्स दिस नंबर इटसेल्फ इज अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 12. इफ दिस वाज 60 देन माय आंसर विल बी 5. तब नेक्स्ट मल्टीपल ऑफ 12 में जा रहे होंगे. बट दिस क्वेश्चन डजंट डिजर्व दिस मच डिस्कशन. काफी लाइट है. हाँ ठीक है, उसमें 70 वाले में M11 M12 इनकम्प्लीट रह जाएंगे या 2 मंथ्स इनकम्प्लीट रह जाएंगे. लेट्स मूव. Okay. The mean of all 4-digit even natural numbers of the form a b b where a is greater than 0. This question I have seen at several places and I am मतलब solution वगैरह देख के हम पागल हो गए. तो भाई क्या मेहनत कर दी है, बस ये देखना. एक का आंसर तो ये है. This is the answer straight away. The smallest such number, the largest such number, and the average of that. Straight away you can reach the answer here. You don't have to do anything more here. But why this works, despite it not being technically an AP, despite it technically not being an AP, why this works? Notice the first such number is this, the second such number is this. Not really, not necessarily. These would be the first 5 numbers within the thousands range. These would be the 5 numbers within the thousands range. Within the 2000s range, these would be the numbers. These would be the, what have I done? Okay, 2200, yes. Numbers have become too bad. Let me load. 2200, 2222, 2244, and 2266 and 2288. These would be the 5 numbers here. Yes. क्यों A और B डिस्टिंक्ट क्यों होंगे ऋतिक? A और B डिस्टिंक्ट क्यों होंगे? अपनी मर्जी से एक्स्ट्रा कंडीशन नहीं डालेंगे सवाल में, जितना उसने दिया है उसके हिसाब से करेंगे. If we have not been told, just because 2 variables are mentioned, that does not mean the variables have to be distinct. Can you see the average of these 5 is this number? Average of these 5 is this number. And if you keep on going, the average here will be this number. So average of these 5 numbers, then there will be a 3 series, then there will be a 4 series, 5 series, 6 series, 7 series, 8 series, and so on and so forth, whatever you do. Can you see the average will necessarily be in this range? 9 terms, middle term. These numbers are in AP. So this 11 and 99, this middle term will be the answer. If positionally you can see APGP, this will be the answer. Otherwise, of course, there is maths for this. There is maths for this. How people have gone ahead and done it is, from what I remember, people did this 1100 plus 2200 plus 3300 plus whatever up until 9900, this into 5 plus 1 to 9 into 11 into 2 and 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. तो 100 निकाल सकते हैं. 500 into 11 भी निकाल सकते हैं. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus blah 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 up until 9 plus ये कितना हो गया 8 plus 2 20 20 into 9 180 180 into 11 is 1980 1980. This one here now becomes 11 into 500 into first 9 natural number का sum कितना होता है 45. तो 45 कुछ ज्यादा ही नहीं हो गया मेरा. फर्स्ट 9 नेचुरल नंबर का सम तो 45 होता है, उसको तो लड़ाई नहीं है. हम बोल रहे कुछ ज्यादा ही नहीं मैथ्स कर रहे हैं इसमें. कितना हो रहा है मेरा 1100 प्लस 2200, हमने 100 निकाल दिया 500 कर दिया, 11 भी निकाल दिया 11 इंटू 500 कर दिया. हाँ 11 इंटू 500 मेरा 5500 तो यही हो गया. I've reached 5500 here itself. Also my unit digit should be 4. पता नहीं क्या ही चल रहा है मेरे मैथ्स में. मैथ्स आती नहीं मेरे को. If you want an equation based solution, I'm sure there are thousands of other people who exist in this world who have solved this. Go ahead and check there. Whoever understands equations and everything, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I can see distribution in APs here, and therefore I can directly jump to this has to be the number. The middle number in the 5-5 range has to be 5544. That is the answer. Okay, let's go. Leaving home at the same time, Amal reaches office at 10:15 a.m. if he travels at 8 km per hour, and 9:40 a.m. if he travels at 15 km per hour. Leaving home at 9:10 a.m. at what speed in kilometer per hour must he travel so as to reach office exactly at 10 a.m. ध्यान दीजिएगा. Speed here is 8. Speed here is 15. So time here will be 15x. And time here will be 7x. Yes. This can be inferred because the ratio of speed is 8:15. So ratio of speed will be 8x, 8x, 15x is to 8x. Okay. So what is the difference in the times taken? 7x. And this 7x is given to us by 15 plus 20, 35 minutes, or x is equal to 5 minutes. So time taken in this case is 75 minutes. Time taken in this case is 40 minutes. Yes. These are all numbers that I expect people to reach mentally. इसमें कुछ सोचने वाला गेम नहीं, as in कुछ लिखने वाला गेम नहीं. Post that, can we figure out the total distance? 8 into 5/4 or 15 into 2/3. 5/4 is 75 minutes expressed in hours, or 2/3 is 40 minutes expressed in hours. In both these cases, we get our distance as 10 kilometers. We get our distance as 10 kilometers. Now leaving home at 9:10 a.m. at what speed in kilometer per hour must he travel so as to reach office exactly at 10 a.m. So 10 kilometers have to be traveled in 5/6 of an hour, or the speed has to be 12 kilometer per hour. Option 3. Yes. Option 1. Let's move. Let's move. Okay. A train traveled at 1/3 of its usual speed and hence reached the destination 30 minutes after the scheduled time. ध्यान दीजिएगा, स्पीड का रेशियो 3:1 है, स्पीड्स का रेशियो, तो टाइम्स का रेशियो 1:3 होगा. Yes. Difference in time taken purely in ratio terms is 2 units. Difference of time purely in ratio terms is 2 units and hence reach the destination 30 minutes after the scheduled time. 30 minutes is as good as 2 units of time. So regular time is, usual time is 15 minutes. Awesome. On its return journey, the train initially traveled at its usual speed for 5 minutes. Okay. Then stopped for 4 minutes for an emergency. The percentage by which the train must now increase its usual speed so as to reach the destination at scheduled time is nearest. ध्यान दीजिएगा, distance that it usually covers in 10 minutes, it has to now cover in 6 minutes. Distance that it usually covers in 10 minutes has to now be covered in 6 minutes. The ratio of speeds will be what? 3:5. Ratio of times is given. Distance is same. Ratio of times is given. 10 minutes में जो distance cover होता था, अब वो 6 minutes में cover होना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि 4 मिनट तो emergency में बर्बाद हो गए और शुरुआत के 5 मिनट उसने normal travel किया था. So ratio of speeds is 3:5. Once we get 3:5, by what percentage the train must increase its usual speed? 2/3 into 100 or equal to 66.66%. यहाँ पे नियरेस्ट मांगा है तो 67 चल जाएगा. वो 10 क्या 10? सवाल पूरा बताएं. वो 10 मिनट्स क्वेश्चन मार्क, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. पूरी जर्नी का यूजुअल टाइम 15 मिनट है, ये आया ऋतिक. आपको जर्नी 15 मिनट लगते हैं. On its return journey, the train initially traveled for its usual speed for 5 minutes. 5 मिनट्स की जर्नी अगर उसने अपनी यूजुअल स्पीड पे कर दी, तो यूजुअल स्पीड पे कितने देर की जर्नी बची है? तो यूजुअल टाइम पूरी जर्नी का 15 मिनट्स लगता है. अगर 5 मिनट की जर्नी आपने कर ली है तो 10 मिनट्स की जर्नी बची है. यहां पर 4 मिनट वेस्ट हो गए फॉर सम इमरजेंसी. वेस्ट क्या? फॉर सम इमरजेंसी 4 minutes were utilized. So now the same distance has to be done in 6 minutes now. Ratio of times is given, distance is identical, so ratio of speeds can also be ascertained. 3:5 उसके हिसाब से आया. ऋतिक आया? Let's go. Hopefully by now people, are you also able to see the setups are not very sinister. The setups are not खतरनाक एकदम insightful वाले, सीधे सीधी बातें हैं. More often than not, people end up making devils and monsters out of simple questions, क्योंकि उस दिन स्ट्रेस लेवल भयंकर रहता है. लाइट से जाओ ना भी करो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. जैसे ये सवाल है, ये तो अलग ही खुशी वाला सवाल है. वो तो शुरुआत से ही टीएसडी शुरुआत से आखिरी तक टीएसटी सारे रेशियो नहीं हुए थे कौस्तुभ, अब तो रेशियो का ही बात है. बट रिमेंबर टीएसटी का वन ऑफ द इनिशियल इनसाइट्स दैट वी हैड कवर्ड, इन एनी टीएसडी क्वेश्चन द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट इज ऑलवेज टाइम या स्पीड या डिस्टेंस में से कौन सा कांस्टेंट है. हर जगह जहां पे रेशियो की बात कर पा रहे हैं वहां पे एक चीज कांस्टेंट रहती है. वो कांस्टेंट नहीं मिला तो फिर बाकी कुछ नहीं हो रहा, और वो कांस्टेंट मिल गया तो दुनिया भर सब कुछ बन जाता है. ओके, x is equal to whatever, then which of the following equals 64? Okay, first thing, I don't know, of course in preparation of this class I was solving this. When I was solving this I could see this is 64 square. X is equal to 64 square raised to the power 7 plus 4 root 3. Now this 7 plus 4 root 3 also I can see is equal to 2 plus root 3 whole square. It has no purpose in this question. 7 plus 4 root 3 is also 2 plus root 3 whole square. It has no purpose in this question. But because I was unable to figure it out straight away how to proceed here, this is also a result that I reached. This is also something that I saw in this question. But okay, फिर देखा नहीं यार, नहीं चल रहा इससे. तो अगर हमें 64 का काम करना है तो इसको इधर ले आना है. So x will be 1 by 7 plus 4 root 3, which is equal to 64 square. Basically, I have to get 64 alone now. I don't want any powers, anything there. This is also simple to figure out because this is as good as, I have to rationalize this power now. 1 by 7 plus 4 root 3. If I have to rationalize, I'll have to do 7 minus 4 root 3 by 7 minus 4 root 3. These two, 49 minus 48, gone. So this is as good as x raised to the power 7 minus 4 root 3 is equal to 64 square. This is awesome. By this time, I had reached the result. What needs to be done? You take 2 to the other side. Now, x raised to the power 7 by 2 divided by x raised to the power 2 root 3 is equal to 64, and therefore option 4. I would have not done it in the first round because I was unable to see or unable to figure out the trigger for taking it to the other side. That is not my, as in my default reaction to stuff. My default reaction was this. I don't know why, but this is what I thought of, and then I thought, ab aage badhe kya? Then I left it and I came back later. I managed to figure out what to do. Is this understandable, people? Let's move. चलेगा. See, पता है एक बहुत ही स्कैम वाला गेम जो चलता है, क्वेश्चन फेसबुक ग्रुप्स, टेलीग्राम ग्रुप सब पे, ये क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना चाहिए कि नहीं, पता नहीं, वो तुम्हारे ऊपर मनीष. हाँ, सो दिस क्वेश्चन दैट ये some of the scam questions are, ये कैट लेवल है क्या, एंड ये क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना चाहिए कि नहीं. It doesn't matter whether you attempt this question or not. What matters is if you're not attempting this question, are you attempting this other one? Are you attempting this other one? You never decide about a question in vacuum, no? एक अकेला क्वेश्चन पे थोड़ी डिसाइड करना है. अगर 20 में से हम 17 कर पा रहे हैं और 3 हम छोड़ रहे हैं तो 3 क्वेश्चन छोड़ने में बिल्कुल कोई गलती नहीं है. लेकिन वही हम 20 में से 5 कर पा रहे हैं, उसमें से हमने एकदम फाड़ू वाला उठा लिया, तो बेकार काम है यार. क्या कर दिया तुमने? और उसके बाद तुमने जो क्वेश्चन छोड़े वो छोड़ने लायक थे या नहीं थे. It is never about a singular question whether you should attempt it or leave it. It is always about, in that entire collection, did you manage to select the best ones that you can crack? Okay, this and this. If f of 5 plus x is equal to 5 f of 5 minus x for every real x and fx is equal to 0 has 4 distinct real roots, then the sum of those roots is. Oh, बहुत ही प्यारा मजा आएगा इसमें. f of x is equal to f of 10 minus x. Is this the same expression? Same relationship has been written down here. If fx is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. There's 4 distinct real roots. 4 distinct real roots. Then the sum of those roots is, अगर 4 रियल रूट्स होने यार, ये समझो 5 प्लस एक्स और 5 माइनस एक्स है, हम 5 प्लस एक्स को y ले सकते हैं? Can I take 5 plus x equal to y? So can I go fy is equal to f of, अब हम x को रिप्लेस करना चाहते हैं लेकिन हम उसको माइनस माइनस एक्स है ना, तो हम ऐसे कर रहे हैं -5 माइनस एक्स, ये 10 हो जाएगा। एक -5 डाल दिया, एक +5 डाल दिया तो ये 10 बन गया। सो कैन आई गो fy 5x plus y को तो ये लिया हुआ था 10 minus y, मेक सेंस। हम 5 plus x को y लेके काम चला रहे हैं। हम बेसिकली आई एम कमिंग टू अ डिफरेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन बिकॉज दैट हेल्प्स मी इमेंसली। If fx is equal to 0, let the 4 distinct real roots be. If a is one of the roots, will the other root be 10 minus a? If this is root 1, this will be root 2. ये expression था दुनिया। If this is root 1, this will be root 2. Similarly, let's say this was root 3. Root 4 will be 10 minus b. If you add up all these roots, do we get 20? The a and minus a get cancelled, b and minus b get cancelled. Sum of these roots will be 20. Yes. Can you also see cat people are extremely careful to ensure that there is no error included. They have defined this function only for real values of x. There are 4 distinct real roots mentioned, so they don't miss out on any words like I would or any other test setter, mock setter would. The papers are very well thought out. Everything will get covered in, as every instruction you need will be present in the question. At x equal to 0, f5 is equal to f5. Can we say one root is 0? How do you know one root is 0? At x equal to 0, f5 is equal to f5. Does that make it a root? If f5 was equal to 0, if f5 was equal to 0, तब f5 को root बोलेंगे ना। ये तो at x equal to 0 ले लो, at x equal to 1 ले लो, 2 ले लो, कुछ भी ले लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा। रूट होने के लिए फंक्शन का वैल्यू 0 आना चाहिए, वेरिएबल इटसेल्फ का वैल्यू 0 नहीं होना। Maybe move. वैभव सब्जी खरीदने तो बिल्कुल नहीं आए हैं। Maybe move people. Okay, this one. A, B, C are positive integers such that AB is 432 and BC is 96 and C is less than 9. Then the smallest possible value of A plus B plus C is. Okay, let's see. C is less than 9. 96 का फैक्टर होना और less than 9 होना। क्या क्या हो सकता है C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. These are all possibilities that C can take. Correspondingly, B will be 96 48, 32, 24, 16, and 12. If C is any of these values, B would be any of these values. Now AB have to be 432. 432. Now 432 is 48 into 9. 48 into 9. So 96 into something would not work. This case is out. 2 into 48 into 9. Yes, this case is possible. 32 into this. So 2/3 and 32. Does it cancel with 32? No, this case is not possible. 4 into 24 into 18. Yes, this case is possible. 6 into 16 into 27. Yes, this case is possible. 8 into 30, 12 into 36. This case is possible. These are the 4 possibilities for C, B, and A. They've asked me the smallest possible value of A plus B plus C. This gives me 59. This gives me 46. 46 is the smallest option, so it has to be option 4. Yes. Another way that you can think of here is B is a factor of 432 and B is a factor of 96. B is a factor of 432 and B is a factor of 96. So can I go B has to be a factor of 48? The HCF of 432 and 96 is 48. So B has to be a factor of 48. So if B is a factor of 48, correspondingly, I can find out value of C straight away. So if B is 48, C is 2. This is 24. This is 4. This is 16. This is 6. This is 12. This is 8. And this is it. This is much better. I don't have to list out other cases. My working stops here. So nice. A here is equal to 9. A here is equal to 240 plus 192. So 418. Okay. And I am an idiot. I have written down these numbers already. Why am I calculating them again? Yes, these numbers are here. We'll get it. This is smarter. This is more efficient. Then starting with C is not as efficient as starting with B while simultaneously figuring out value of C. That is better. Okay. In either case, this will be the smartest one. This works. Maybe move. क्लोज टुगेदर यहाँ पे क्लोज टुगेदर कैसे रख सकते हैं जब ए और सी के बीच में कोई रिश्ता ही नहीं है तो okay in a group of people 28% of the members are young is 28 old is 72 65% of the members are literates illiterates is 35 25% of the literates are young 25% of this is 16.25 so here it will be 47.75 here it will be 11.75 here it will be 23.25 then the percentage of old people among the illiterates is nearest to we need this by 35 2325 by 3500 into 100 gone 7 5 से कट के यहाँ पे 4 32 का 6 465 by 7 so 420 plus 45 by 7 this gives me 60 this gives me 6 whole 3 by 7 or 66 whole 3 by 7 option 3 will be the answer yes this is very much the setup for I don't know if you remember it this is very much the setup for conditional probability याद है? This is how we recorded data for conditional probability. Recording style same है, of course, काम अलग है, percentages in काम है. Maybe move. A circle is inscribed in a rhombus with diagonals 12 and 16. The ratio of the area of the circle to the area of the rhombus. Okay. Then you see the radius of the circle will necessarily be the perpendicular on the hypotenuse, which will be equal to 4.8. ये 6 है, ये 8 है, ये 10 है. This perpendicular here is 4.8. So basically we are looking at 4.8 into 4.8 into pi divided by half into 12 into 16. This is the area of the circle. This is the area of the trapezium. So let's go. This is 0.4. This is 0.3. This is 0.24 pi. Then it doesn't help. Then we go 6 by 25 pi. Option 2. Pretty straightforward. Getting to this 4.8 quickly helps. Yes. Okay. Gentleman decided to treat a few children in the following manner. He gives half of his total stock of toffees and one extra to the first child. I'm going to write down a word. Tell me if it means something to you. Does this word mean something to you? And can you see how it applies to this question? The last kid. Then half of the remaining stock along with one extra to the second and continues giving away in this fashion. His total stock exhausts after takes care of 5 children. How many toffees were there in his stock initially? Last kid, yeah, kid 5. When he comes to kid 5, how many toffees should he have? Half plus 1 देने में exhaust हो गया. Half plus 1 देने में exhaust हो गया. So when he came to kid 5, he had 2 toffees left. When he went to kid 4, how many toffees would he have? 2 plus 1 into 2. 6 toffees. 6 toffees. ठीक है. लास्ट वाले को क्या मिला था? He got half plus 1 leads to half plus 1. From total, when you subtract half plus 1, you reach 2. So can I say, if this 1 was not removed, it would be 3 left here and 3 was half. So this should be 6. For kid 3, can you think in similar way? 6 plus 1 into 2, कितना आएगा? 14. For kid 2, prior to going to kid 2, 30. And prior to going to kid 1, 62. The entire algorithm is 0 plus 1 into 2. 2 plus 1 into 2. 6 plus 1 into 2. So same process, same work has to be done several times over. So now even if they had given me 8 kids or 9 kids or 15 kids, would we be able to handle it? क्योंकि बारी बारी से डबल ही करते जाना और कुछ कर नहीं रहे. Nothing too fancy is happening here. In fact, if you also notice, Are these also the numbers that are germinating here? Fun. And again, this entire question is dependent on knowing last kid. If you can think of the last kid, everything else will work out. Otherwise, of course, there are any trigger for backtracking here. The very fact that he is distributing it in the same fashion over and over again until the end where all his stock gets exhausted. This is like the boilerplate language for backtracking. Standard एकदम और कुछ नहीं होता इसमें तो. Anytime you see ये working your way backwards वाला काम, as in anytime you see इसको हाफ किया प्लस कुछ किया, इसको हाफ किया प्लस कुछ किया और आखिरी में जाके खत्म हो गया, या आखिरी में जाके 5 चॉकलेट बच गए, या आखिरी में जाके 6 चॉकलेट बच गए. As long as at the end you have a specific number, backtracking, that is the only way forward. Okay, let's go. Let A, B, C be 3 positive integers such that the sum of A and the mean of B and C is 5. This one, I'll tell you, I was flustered in the beginning and then later on got around to understanding what this question is saying. A, B, C are 3 positive integers, sum of A and mean of B and C is 5. So A plus B plus C by 2 is equal to 5. Or 2A plus B plus C is equal to 10. In addition, the sum of B plus A plus C by 2 is equal to 7. Or 2B plus A plus C is equal to 14. This minus this, if I do, I get B minus A is equal to 4. Everyone managed to reach this far? I'm hoping. Everyone managed to reach this far? After this, it becomes a problem. After this, it becomes a problem because there were just 2 equations, 3 variables, how to move forward here. And then you start seeing if these are positive integers, then these 5 and 7 are very small cases. Let's just see. Which is if A minimum is 1, B will be 5. If A is 2, B will be 6. If A is 3, B will be 7. If A is 4, B will be 8. These are the possibilities for A and B. Yes. Once you have reached these possibilities for A and B, let us identify correspondingly values for C also. अरे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, इसके आगे भी बढ़ सकते हैं, कोई नहीं रोक रहा, उसके आगे भी बढ़ सकते हैं. हम बस बोल रहे इतने शुरुआत में दिख रहे. We can go even further forward. Now 2A plus B plus C is supposed to be equal to 10. I'm working with this. So 2A is 2 plus B is 5 plus C. So C here is 3. Cool. Here I get 2A plus B plus C. C here is 0. Oh, this is an unacceptable case. Next, 2A, 13 plus B plus 7. So 6 plus 7 plus C. C here turns out to be minus 3. C here will turn out to be minus 6. Can you see the value of C from second case onwards? From second case onwards, you will not get any acceptable value for C. So the only possible case here is A equal to 1, B equal to 5, and C equal to 3. And therefore, the sum of A and B is 6. Post facto realizations and understandings, I could also see the fact that B plus A plus C by 2 is equal to 7. It means B can take a maximum value of 6. B cannot possibly be more than 6. B can't be greater than 6 either. It cannot even be 7. This is also, these two are positive integers. So B has to be less than 7. So B has to be less than equal to 6. I don't even need to check these cases. These are outright unacceptable. These two were the only cases that needed to be checked, but these were post facto realizations from me. When I was solving it myself, तब यहाँ पे किए सब कुछ आ गया, बहुत बढ़िया मनीष. अगर 5-1 से ट्राई किए और एक केस बन गया और ऑप्शन सारे प्रिसाइज है, मार्क करो, आगे बढ़ो. Absolutely wonderful reasoning, no problem at all. But then this is a question I don't know. In the exam hall, if I was doing it, I don't know if I would have cracked there or cracked under the pressure myself. Okay, but Saurabh, after you reach this point, no, b minus a is equal to 4, उसके बाद किया ना, a plus b equal, हाँ ठीक है, चलेगा, बिल्कुल चलेगा. b minus a equal to 4 आ गया था, उसके बाद तो फिर चलेगा. Every the question is framed in such a way. इसके अंदर फिर बाद में जाके रियलाइज हुआ गेम क्या थी. They had given you two equations with 3 variables, but they had also given you this additional condition, positive integers, and therefore finding it out precisely was possible. वो याद है कि भाई मल्टीपल वेरिएबल है लेकिन उतनी इक्वेशंस नहीं, लेकिन ये इंटीजर होने का या नेचुरल नंबर होने का कंडीशन दे दिया, तो हाँ अब निकल पा रहा है क्योंकि ये कंडीशन एक्स्ट्रा दी है. दैट again it came to me post facto, not at that time. First time of solving it did not strike me. Okay, the solution of volume 40 liters has dye and water in the proportion 2:3. So can I go 16 dye and water as 24? Water is added to the solution to change this proportion to 2:5. Dye remains the same. So 16 water is coming to change the proportion to 16 to 40. Now the ratio is 2:5. If 1/4 of this diluted solution is taken out, if 1/4 of this diluted solution is taken out, can I say 1/4 of each of the constituents is taken out? So -4, -10, we are left with 12, we are left with 30. How many liters of dye must be added to the remaining solution to bring the proportion back to 2:3? Now water remains same. Something has to be added so that the ratio becomes 2:3. What needs to be added here, people? 8. Take it. Question done. Recording style or whatever, powerful, straightforward thinking. If you don't jump to making equations, life is pretty simple. Okay, this one. The number of distinct real roots of the equation. I don't know if people had trouble with this, but there is a point where I can question stuff. But let's say x plus 1 by x. Can I go a square minus 3a plus 2 is equal to 1, or a minus 1 into a minus 2 is equal to 0, or a equal to 1, or a equal to 2. Now a was x plus 1 by x. Can this be equal to 1, people? Not for real values of x. Not for real value. It can be equal to 1, not for real values of x. And the question is asking me real root. So this doesn't have. Let's look here. X plus 1 by x is equal to 2. Is this possible? Yes. When x is equal to 1. When x is equal to 1. So we have one real root here. We have one real root here. But now I don't know. One, everybody got one as the answer. Whoever got one as the answer. Now the question I'm going to pose to you is, if I did not take it as a variable, will it turn to x square plus 1 by x whole square minus 3 times of x square plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 0? Now if I open it up, I will get something x raised to the power 4 and blah, 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 blah. So how many roots of this expression? How many roots? 4 roots. If we have only one real root, 3 will have to be complex or unreal. But can we have 3 complex roots? No. Then is one real root correct? Absolutely. Precisely, Priyansh. Distinct real roots are 1, but real roots are 2. There are 2 real roots. They are repeated. They are repeated. Good thing, good thing. Lots of people were ready with the answer, so that is nice. There are 2 real roots, but distinct real root, there is just 1. Got it, people? Got it? Fun discussion also happened on this. This is my a solid right circular cone of height 27 centimeters is cut into 2 pieces along the plane parallel to the base at a height of 18 centimeters from the base. If the difference in the volume of the 2 pieces is 225 cc, the volume in cc of the original cone is. Let's say if the cone was cut, this is 1 and this entire thing is 3x. Can I say the ratio of their volume will be 1:27? Or for this bottom part, it will be 26 units. If this is x, this is 26x. Ratio of volumes would be, for the top part, if it is x, for the bottom part, it will be 26x. So purely in ratio terms, the difference in the volume will be 25x. And 25x has been given to us as 225, or x is equal to 9. Total volume is 27x, which is equal to 243. Option 4. Again, a question that doesn't require you to write stuff down as long as you're comfortable with ratios of volume. Yes, people, yes. That will be all for slot 1 QA. Stopping the recording now.